Hello, everybody. Today we are interviewing Paras Doshi. He is the founder of Doshi. They sell handbags and wallets and other little accessories that are all vegan. And Paras is joining us here from California today. We're very happy to be interviewing you. Welcome.
Hi, Vicky. How are you?
I'm great. So our first question is, what did you do before launching Doshi?
Before launching Doshi, I worked for the city of Los Angeles for about 16 or 17 years. I was in technology, I was in finance, and I was in operations. So I was in a number of different roles.
Amazing. So what was the thing that sparked your interest in creating fashion accessories and specifically vegan fashion accessories?
Well, as a professional with the city of LA, I was required to wear on most or through a large part of my career, a shirt and tie, if not a suit. And so I needed to wear belts and shoes that looked like leather. And over the years, I tried finding a lot of these accessories at shops within the US and Canada, and frankly, anywhere around the world. I never really found good products for myself. And I realized that this was a pain point for a lot of people trying to live a vegan lifestyle. And maybe like most people, when you see something that's a problem, you want to try and solve it. And looking into creating this line was my way of solving that problem.
Great, thank you. So our next question is, what textiles do you use and why?
So that's a great question because, when I was buying all of these different products from different companies, they all used a material called PU. And that PU material, it was actually around for decades as a cheap replacement for leather. And this material would often peel and crack. And so when I was going to meetings with the city council, I would be wearing a suit with a belt that had visible cracks. And so the first thing that we needed to do was to find a more durable material. And that material is actually available throughout different parts of the world. And so we sourced that material from as far away as Italy and Japan, and as close by as the US. And so we found that this material uses a much more durable base layer, which is a non-woven microfiber. And that material resists cracking and peeling. It feels more like real leather, and all around it's just a better, stronger, more durable material. So at that point, we knew what we needed to use, and we needed to find the factories to put that together. Now, we often get feedback that even our material is petroleum based, and so to try and get away from that, we have more recently made products that involved cork or craft paper, which is one of the materials that we're most excited about because that material in large part is biodegradable.
Yeah, the craft paper bags are really cute. I love the patterns on them. I feel like when people would see them at the Veg Fest, they go crazy over them. And I have my, sorry to reach over here. I have my Doshi bag here, you guys. And just so if anyone doesn't know, PU is polyurethane. So this one is the PU material that is very durable. It's so durable. I have the wallet too. You guys, it's got the, the feel and the look of real leather. It feels luxurious and nice. But I remember, at the Veg Fest, Paras would, give wallets to people and say, take your key and scratch it, it's so durable, and it was fine. And it's true. My bag, it's been like, I don't know, 2-3 years now, and it's in perfect condition. And I use this bag all of the time. So it's a really great quality material.
And that's really like our way of making stuff that's sustainable. So if you buy a product, and we agree that, petroleum-based product isn't the absolute best, but if we can find the right materials, even if they're a little more expensive, and put together our bags out of them, then people can use those bags for a very long time and they don't have to replace them. And that makes it sustainable because you're not then buying more stuff from and taking more resources out of the environment. Yeah, and we're hoping that the craft paper, and thank you for talking about the patterns. That floral print pattern does really well for us, and people still love that. And so we're going to be making more bags with different floral prints. It's just awesome that you can create something out of like cellulose with a little other stuff in there, and have it be a really lightweight, eco-friendly, low-impact material. And we're hoping that the materials become more and more biodegradable over time. And that's actually what we're expecting.
Great. Yeah, I was talking to a factory owner recently that was talking about how these materials are always improving. So it's just the beginning, really. So.
Yeah, and like sometimes people like tell us that stuff's made out of petroleum, and we're like, yeah, it is for now. But if you find if any company is going to go for what's the most eco-friendly, it's going to be a company like ours, which is vegan and already trying to take care of like animals. We're also concerned about the environment. So these things go hand in hand, and the more smaller brands like ours are supported, the more we're going to push the envelope in creating stuff that's good for the world as well.
This is very true. And I do want to point out to everyone too, that it is such a big difference between the materials that Doshi uses compared to the stuff that you might be more familiar with that is going to crack and peel and crumble like Paras was talking about. I noticed such a huge difference. I didn't even know that this good quality could exist, and it does. So I just want to definitely point that out because I've experienced it for myself. So our next question is, how has your work evolved since you've begun? And when did you begin? And let everyone know. And especially also, if you could fit in there too, how has it been over the pandemic? Yeah.
Sure. So we started about 4 years ago. My goal was to have products on the ground before I quit my job. Before you start, you have all the time in the world to think about and strategize how you're going to do things. And then once you start, things start moving more quickly. Time goes by so much faster. In the beginning, a lot of my role was simply getting the company set up, getting the website set up, learning how to do everything for the company. I was in government, so I didn't know about shipping. I didn't know about e-commerce and marketing. And so much time spent figuring stuff out. At this point, I know how to do all the basic things. And my job is largely learning how to grow the company, whether that's through different sorts of advertising, whether that's doing search engine optimization, or whether that's continuing to attend vegan festivals. And the vegan festivals leads up to how COVID has impacted us. As a very small company, we were depending on festivals to be a large part of our marketing and outreach. It's really hurt us to not be able to go to festivals and to lose out on being in front of people. It's just really fun when we're in front of people and people can see the products and touch the products and even tell us their vegan stories. It's just so nice to be around like-minded people who understand why we're doing what we're doing. So that's really it's really taken away that one part of the job that's really fun, and I'm hoping that things get better soon, people get vaccinated, and we can come back stronger and do more events again. Outside of that, the one really nice thing about doing what we do is that during the pandemic, we were able to use all of our contacts and bring thousands and thousands of masks into the country. We gave a lot of them away and we sold a bunch, but we sold them at almost no profit. And so we were able to help people get protected during this time, which was really scary, especially last year around this time.
Amazing. Yeah, you seem very, very busy, Paras, yes. So I think, it's so wonderful what you're doing to make, vegan accessories accessible to people so that there's options. And yes, definitely, these products especially, I feel like it's something you want to see in person. It's, it's just seeing the photo of it doesn't do it justice. Yeah, so other people that might want to start doing this and contributing to the whole vegan movement, and just if they want to create any kind of business where they're making vegan materials or products, do you have any advice for them, especially if they are, a one-person band to start out?
My advice to someone starting out is there's so many different things to talk about. I mean, one, like if you're one person starting out, you really have to think about your finances first and get a sense of, if you're not going to make money for a few years or even more than a few years, how are you going to support yourself? And that's something that you need planned out. Hopefully you have a partner or parents who are able to support you during that time. I moved back home with my parents. I had a little bit of money saved up, but I didn't want to burn that money on living expenses. So if you're lucky and you know someone who, like your parents, who will help you with that, that goes a long way. It takes away the daily stresses of just living life. Outside of that, I would say that what's really neat about the vegan community is that there are a lot of people who are interested in helping out. So we've connected with a lot of the nonprofits in the animal space, nonprofits like sanctuaries, and also nonprofits like PETA, Compassion Over Killing, which is now changed its name to Animal Outlook, Mercy for Animals. So one of the best things to do is to connect with these organizations because they may have contacts. They themselves might be interested in your product. And it's just a way of networking. I think going to events is super important because that's where you and your product can be in front of people and people can give you feedback really quickly. People are usually very kind and also honest. So it gives you market feedback right away. Outside of that, I mean, I'm telling you, Vicky, I could talk about this for hours, but to keep this short, just start really small with the smallest thing you can do. That's I think sometimes referred to as an MVP, your minimum viable product, just enough so that you can go out there and test. Sometimes in my business, the factories will want you to produce thousands of units at a time, and that's an easy way to get yourself in trouble. So you need to be super mindful, be super careful with where you put your money, put it in only the places that you need to, and get that bare minimum out. And the bare minimum doesn't mean you sacrifice on quality, but you might not start with spending thousands and thousands on Facebook and Instagram. You want to do everything slowly, because if you spend too much and you're out of money, then you're sunk. If you're very careful and methodical, you can survive longer. And sometimes that's what you need to get traction.
Wow, so much helpful advice. Thank you. One last question for you. What is next for Doshi?
What's next for Doshi? So the main thing is that we want to continue building out our brand. We want to bring in more eco-friendly materials. We want to start moving along the lines of being known as a vegan and sustainable company, because I think those two movements go hand in hand, and it's just about educating the customer to realize that those two things they're together. And it will allow us as a vegan company and probably other vegan companies to reach a broader audience. and accomplish 2 goals. So we're going to keep pushing in that direction. Hopefully we get back out to shows and events. And yeah, that's really the main thing that we're going to be doing.
Great. I can't wait to see everything that happens for Doshi. I know you're going to continue doing great things. And thank you so much for all of this great advice for everyone and all this insight. So for anyone that is interested in seeing more, you can follow Doshi on Instagram, Facebook, and you can shop at www.doshi.shop.
Perfect.
Great.
Perfect.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Paras.
Thank
Did you have
very
anything
much.
else you wanted to say?
Oh, no, I was just going to say our Instagram and Facebook handles are Doshi Shop. And yeah, and you got the website right. So we're cool.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vicki.